Is no restart.
Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump
administration.
Hi, Dewald. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
All right, legends, my mic is working. I should be sounding very crispy and clear and professional. My radio voice is back. Okay, this morning's live stream turned out to be a little bit of a small disaster, nothing serious. At least I had backup, right? If the mic doesn't work, at least the laptop speakers and mics kicks in. So luckily you guys could at least hear the live stream. I went and I listened to it after the live stream and it seemed to be pretty okay. But now my voice is back. All I needed to do is just to restart my laptop. Now everything is working again. So, right, legends, welcome to another live stream. Remember to smash up that like on your way in. And we will do some technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin, do a little bit of a recap of what we spoke about this morning. So let's get the party on the road. If you're not already subscribed, make sure that you subscribe here to this channel because this is where we do pure technical analysis. Okay, legends, let's keep it conversational. I'll go through the comments. I'll say hi to everyone. If you have a question trading related, I'm always happy to share education. You always know, guys, you always know. When you have an educational type of question, I get in my element, right? Because that is what I like to do here on this YouTube channel. It's not just to provide you with potential trading setups and rejection levels and support levels and technical analysis, but it's also to educate you guys, okay, in terms of how to do this yourself so that you don't have to watch me anymore. Okay, maybe you just want to stick around for fun, go through the comments, chat to everyone. You know, it's nice to be surrounded by like-minded people at the end of the day. And that is also why I like to be part of a community. And I can tell you guys now, even when I was already successfully trading as a day trader, I still belonged to a community because it gets very lonely out there as a day trader. And you want to surround yourself with like-minded people that has the same aspirations and goals as you. Okay, cool, legends. Let's get the party on the road. I see people are jumping here into the live stream. Numbers are picking up. Let's rock and roll. And let me quickly say hi to the people that are here already. Irina, welcome to the live stream. Okay, hello, Dewald. First like is mine. I saw that comment. Mr. Junior, always great to see the mods here in the house. Irina, welcome again. Yes, again for the second time today. Sold from 83k long. 83k long. Oh, what a beautiful entry. 83k right here at the bottom. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. To be able to sniper these bottoms over here, right? Not easy, but I mean, the risk management is absolutely amazing. And yes, I mean, you're getting the rejection. Let me quickly just take a FIP over here. You're getting the rejection at an important zone. If you take a FIP now from this high to the low, from a retracement perspective, it's never guaranteed. We all know, guys, it's never guaranteed price is just going to do this, okay? So when you start hitting areas of resistance, I mean, look at that beautiful resistance over here, okay? 50% Fibonacci, you have resistance, you have this little order block over here, you've just dipped into the golden pocket, and that is where price is currently getting a rejection. So it's always great when people tell me, Dewald, you know, I've longed from these levels and I'm taking profits as we hit resistance, 382, 50%, golden pockets. I'm paying myself here to the upside and I'm going to leave a moon bag open, 5-10% of the position for just for in case it does that. Beautiful, beautiful, right? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, legends, let me go quickly a little bit here. Zella, hello, welcome to the live stream. Mr. Fast, great to see you again. Bolo, hi legends. How's it, people? Hi everyone. Rum, I never know how to pronounce your name properly. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Rum? Or your username, it might not even be your real name. Rudy, hi Dewald. Welcome to the live stream. Ron, welcome. Are we longing fifth wave already? Fifth wave already? Yeah, you know, this is not a zone when I'm longing, okay? I'm not longing from where we are right now. There's just no longing zone. I would rather be looking for shorts, even if momentum continues to the upside. But this is not a zone where I look for longs. This is a zone where I start looking for shorts. Okay. Rudy, hello, chart lovers, have an amazing trading day. Thanks, Rudy, I appreciate that. Okay, cool, legends. Comments are still Mr. Jack, hello, welcome to the live stream. Man Red, hello, Dewald, where could we possibly be on a market cycle psychology chart? Well, from a psychology perspective, or maybe more from a sentiment perspective, there well, before I answer that question, I think we need to go and check it out, okay? Let's go. Yeah, you guys will see. I was checking out Koenz just to see what he was talking about, but he did a long live stream. I don't have time to go through all of that. Anyways, let's go and look at the fear and greed index. Okay, let's do this. Doom, doom, doom. Oh, we're still in fear. So from a sentiment perspective, we are still in fear. Not extreme fear at least, but there's still a lot of fear in the market. So from a psychology perspective, I think people are still looking for lower levels. People are still scared to buy. Here's the data, okay? It's the experienced traders that are buying at these areas. It's the die-hard traders, okay? The people with let me not say it. We have some ladies here in the chat as well. How's it, Brew Deal? From Durban, welcome, fellow South African here in the live. Hope we can have a braai when we millionaires. Why not have a braai before we millionaires? Because I like to smell the roses on the way to the goal, okay? I like to tell people that it is not the goal that is important. It is the journey towards the goal that is absolutely amazing, okay? When you start learning trading, for example, because I mean, this is a technical channel, let's just keep it technical over here. And you have spent 3-4 years studying technical analysis. It took you 3-4 years to start breaking even and start making profits. You've left your 9 to 5. Eventually, you're starting to be a profitable trader. And you are going to tell those stories to family and friends and your kids and your wife. You know, do you remember, you know, when I used to study and I lost so much money and look at where I am now? And you're going to think back and you're going to be like, I should have celebrated those little successes along the way. I should have enjoyed the journey a little bit more. Okay. It's always the journey, not the destination, that is important. Well, that is my philosophy, and that is my outlook on life, is that you need to smell the roses along the way, because if you're only celebrating something once you've hit the goal, you might, well, what if you don't hit the goal and you know, you didn't enjoy your life along the way? Anyways, legends, that is a very deep conversation. Let's get technical over here. Right, we are currently getting the rejection. One of the scenarios that I'm looking at here, legends, and we can dive into this little local structure here in a moment, is that when you look at this entire impulse here to the upside, and I know I have a lot of levels switched on here. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let's clean up the chart, right? Let's take the fib out the way. Let's just work with a blank piece of paper. When you look at this little, where everything started, okay, from the low, I mean, boy, oh boy, I think this candle here scared a lot of people. I really think that this candle scared a lot of people. Whoever longed over here, I have seen it so often. I'm not sure if you've done it as well, because I remember doing this. Okay, you nail an entry. Maybe you nail an entry here in the zone. I think it was the 382, if I'm not mistaken. Let me try and figure this out here quick. okay, because I remember it was a 0.382, because that's where I think I longed. I can't remember exactly. Yes, look at that, right? If you nailed the 1.382, because this was a fib level that we were all watching inside of the Legends Pro community. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the live stream. I could have, okay, because I share everything, right? You tapped the 1.382 to perfection. This was a Fibonacci level that we were all watching. Look at the beautiful reaction you got at the 786. Okay, and I'm, don't think okay, but Dewald, we didn't bounce. The reason I like the Fibonacci pool, and it shows correctness that is valid, is you getting a reaction at each level. Got a reaction, fell down. Tap the 1-to-1, got a reaction, fell down. Okay, the only fib level here, okay, I did speak about this in the live stream because I remember saying these exact same words. The only fib level that didn't get a reaction was the 1.236, but then the magic happened at the 1.382. So if you manage to catch along using this as a swing failure line, heaven, right? Heaven. But then, okay, and I'm sure you've done the exact same thing. And if you haven't done it, you haven't made enough mistakes in the trading game, because I have seen this play out many times. Let me know in the comments what I'm about to say has ever happened to you, because it has happened to me many times when I started out. Okay, you plan your trade and you're like, oof. Okay, well, at this point, you're right, you don't know if you've nailed the trade because this price action didn't play out. But let's say you were late to the party, you entered over there somewhere, okay, and you are planning to take profits here by the resistance or whatever, or you think you've nailed the low, so you're just leaving the trade in, okay, you have a nice little tight stop loss. Price comes back, zoop, and it scares you out of your trade. You exit your position without your stop loss being hit. How often has that happened to you? No, I was in the profits. No, I'm going to get stopped out. And you just close your position and it bounces without hitting your stop loss or where your stop loss was supposed to be. Okay, how often has that happened where you've nailed the trade, price retraces too deep and it scares you out of your trade and you exit the position? So I can just imagine, okay, even if people nailed this trade and there was massive liquidity lying below this low, even if you do not claim the low, there's still a lot of traders that exit the trade because it looks like you're going to tank. And then afterwards, when this happens, they're like, shit, I should have just left it. I should have let the trade play out. How often has that happened to you? Okay, anyways, legends, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that from a scary perspective. And now that we look at the structure from the low, okay, to the high, let me see here in the comments. I made it a 2 trade now in the past. I shit my pants. Yes, Dewald camera, my camera froze. Legends, just give me a second. I think, this sometimes happens when my battery dies for some odd reason. So let me just reset this. Okay, it didn't die, it just lost signal. So let me just reset the signal here quick, legends. Give me a moment. I will switch my camera on in a second, so you can all see my sexy face. Right, there we go. It should come on in a moment. It should come on. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Yes. There we are back. Right, legends. Yeah, I mean, you have to, you have to praise yourself. You have to be that type of person that gets up in the morning, stare at yourself in the mirror, grab your own ass and say, hey, you sexy thing. Right? If you're not going to love yourself, who else is going to love you? Right? Anyways, legends, let's continue over here. Right, now you can see me. Right, legends? So from the low of the structure to the high of the structure, there is a chance. There is still a chance. And I'm going to tell you now what I'm looking for in this structure to confirm that this is potentially the scenario that's going to play out. Okay? since we've made this high, this could all be a corrective structure that has finished. From a timing perspective, it makes sense when you take a fib from the low, okay, to the high of this structure over here to this high. And this little correction over here was made after the 0.382. So there's a chance, okay, that this is the impulse. This is the correction. And now we're starting building impulses back to the upside. Okay, so, you know, we have to keep that in mind. But there's also, you know, there's always a bullish and a bearish case scenario. And I sometimes see comments from people saying that, Dewald, what type of technical trader are you? Right? Pick a side. No, I can't. I can't pick a side because no one can predict the price of Bitcoin. It's about applying your trading strategy with good risk management and taking profits where you're supposed to take profits. Okay, so your job as a trader is to apply your trading strategy with the rules that you've built around your trading strategy and execute on your strategy. That's the only thing that you have control over. What price does, you have no control over. Okay, so I cannot pick a side. I cannot come here on the live stream and tell everyone 100x we're going up. What if we don't go up and we go down? You know how many people are going to be upset, right? And lose their money, liquidate their positions. No, it's not how we trade. You have to have a good technical analyst will always show you the bearish and the bullish case scenario. So they will provide you with shorting opportunities and with longing opportunities because we can't predict the price of Bitcoin. Okay, right, legends. This is either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 3-wave corrective structure, and we're going to continue. Let's just keep it simple. Or this little bad boy over here is a WXY. I'm not going to go into all the waves, but you basically have a, let me see over here, A, B, C, W, X, Y, A, B, C, and Y. This all is a corrective structure. Unfortunately, you can count the structure in both ways because that's what happened. Oops, that's what happened in this little structure over here. Do you guys remember this structure? Okay, it turned out to be a WXY. WXY, done. And we took the low. Okay, the rest is history. So, and you know, the important thing is the retracement. It's how you retrace. Do you trace impulsively in 5 waves to the downside, or do you retrace in a lazy 3-wave structure to the downside? A lazy 3-wave structure is usually continuation back to the upside. Okay, and then we'll know, okay, it was actually a 5-wave structure. But these contracting diagonals, okay, not, you know, it's so nice just when you get a nice, beautiful impulse. You know, when you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a beautiful impulse, those ones are the best because you're almost guaranteed that it's going to make a 3-wave structure and continue back to the upside. And then the retracement becomes a really good load up zone. This retracement, you have your trend, you can play the break of the trend. It usually finds support by the golden pocket. Okay, we all know. And those are your typical impulsive structures. But when you start forming diagonals, you can count them in so many ways. Okay, they can be corrective or they are impulsive. And most, from a pattern perspective, this is what most people are looking at. This is a bearish pattern. Okay, you all know the deal. This is a bearish pattern, Dewald. It's guaranteed to break to the downside. Okay, it can like to be a little bit of a bearish pattern. That was actually the diagonal right over there. Let's take the WXY out. So if you look at it from a pattern perspective, anything that slopes and squeezes to the upside has a higher probability of breaking down. So from a pattern perspective, people will say, well, okay, I'm shorting and I'm taking profits by the lows. When you start throwing Elliott wave theory into it, then you know, okay, well, this can be a WXY that takes the lows, but it can also be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that makes a higher low or a sideways correction and it continues to the upside. Right, and that's where people then say, well, these patterns don't always play out. Well, they don't always play out because it can also be a bullish pattern, right? A really bullish pattern. Cool. So, legends, There's the probability, like I've highlighted, to take the lows. And there's also the chance to even continue up from where we are at the moment. But I want to show you what I'm looking at inside of the local structure to confirm continuation and not go down further. Okay. For now, based on what I'm seeing at the moment, the probabilities are still higher for a little bit of a deeper retracement. Okay, because now I want to zoom into this local structure over here to show you, well, what am I looking at for bullish momentum to continue to the upside? Okay, so now let's go 5-minute time frame. Yes, you heard me right. We're zooming into the smaller time frames over here. I can count a completed 5-wave structure here to the downside. Okay, and this is something that I spoke about with the Legends Pro community this morning. I can count this structure as a potential finished ABC, okay, which supports the bullish momentum. A, B, C. 3-wave structure in A, 3-wave structure in B, and a 5-wave impulse in C. And when you zoom into this little structure, I mean, you definitely can count 5 waves to the downside, right? You can take your fib, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave 1, there's your retracement for 2, and then you can say, well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe this is your 3, and that is your 4, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can count a 5-wave structure to the downside. I think what is important about this 5-wave structure to the downside, there's a rule in Elliott wave theory that says that your third wave is not allowed to be the shortest wave. Okay, so let's go, that's something that I thought about after my live stream this morning. Is the third wave not the shortest? So I want to just take the lines out so I can see the levels properly. So the first thing I want to do is take a trend-based fib from the high to the low of 1. Okay, to the high of 2. Now I want to measure the third wave. Okay, the third wave is shorter than the first wave. No problem, as long as the third wave is not the shortest. So it needs to be longer than the 5th wave. Okay, so now again, I take a trend-based fib from the high of 2 to the bottom of 3, and I measure the 5th wave. Okay, the 5th wave is the shortest. So it's valid. It's a valid 5-wave count to the downside. This is how I make sure that the counts are valid. Because if there's an invalidation, it might look like 5 waves, but it's not. If this third wave was the shortest wave, it's an invalid count. It's not a 5-wave structure to the downside. Right, so this structure balances. So there's a chance that the C is in. And when I saw this morning, I dived into this structure to try and figure out, well, can we make a higher low and continue to the upside? And that is exactly what happened, right? We played the breakouts to the upside. There was this little trend line that I was watching, okay? And this is just, you break out, you continue to the upside. I even went on to the 1-minute time frame, and I counted this little bad boy here to the downside. Okay, after you make the low, you want to see a 5-wave structure to the upside. Yes, I went into the 30-second time frame. I can count 5 waves here to the upside. Beautiful. Now that you have a 5-wave structure to the upside, the retracement becomes very interesting. Okay, and the way that I counted the retracement was a WXY. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it basically turned out to be a WXY to the downside. The Y wave tapped the 786 when you take a trend-based fib from the high of W to the low of W to the high of X. You can see where price found support at the 786 W. So it's basically, guys, what a WXY basically is. It's each leg has an ABC inside of it. Okay, A, B, C in W, A, B, C in X, A, B, C, or a normal zigzag in Y. Found its feet. The only rule is Y has to take the low of W. It did. So tick, right? It's not a common target, but it's also not uncommon for a Y wave to finish at the 0.786. Most common is the 121 and the 1.236. Didn't tap those levels, found support at the 786, and then what I did, okay, I waited for this little breakout. When I saw this, I waited for, go back to my trading strategy. Well, this looks like a really sexy trend over here. Ooh, if we break that trend, interesting long. Okay, I played along over here, took profits in this zone somewhere. Not exactly at the top, but I took profits in this zone over here. Okay. Right, legends, and that's basically what happened this morning up until now, and now we are at higher prices. So the question might now be, I love to educate, and now we've gone through the scenarios that we spoke about this morning, and the question is, what now, Dewald, what now? But can you guys see, even without knowing Elliott wave theory, you could have looked at the structure and say, well, you've made a low, okay, you had so many trends. Look at this one, okay. I think this was the one that we were watching this morning. Guys, I was following this one, right? If you break out from this one, you claim the highs. I think I played this one as well. You claimed the highs, but I started, yes, this is where I took profits inside of the live stream. I took some profits, and we eventually did claim the highs. So you play the breakout, stop below the low, you take profits, close your position at the highs. You don't care if price is going higher. It's a successful trade in the bag. Whew. Right, legends, so you can see many trading opportunities, okay? You don't have to sit on your hands the whole time. Depending on how much time you have, right, we're pumping here to the upside. Depending on how much time you have on your hands, there's always a trading opportunity around the corner. So, legends, what I want to now see, okay, let me get to the juicy part. For this structure to remain bullish, I want to see a little bit of a grind to the upside. This is potentially a 1-2-1-2. It's the only way that I can count this as a bullish structure, is a double 1-2. It's the only way, okay? And after you see a grind at the bottom, you want to see the push, right? And then you want to see a grind to the top. You want to see this happen over here. It needs to grind to the upside. It's the easiest way that I can explain these structures. When you see this, and you see the push up, you want to see this. And when you see these little parallel channels, call it what you will, okay, and it then breaks down, this retracement becomes a very interesting buying opportunity, because this is a bullish structure. It's a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Then you get an ABC correction, you make a higher low, and you continue. So if I see this structure, it increases the probabilities that we could go higher. Okay. Because once you make a low, you have to form a bullish structure to the upside in order to confirm continuation to the upside. Okay. If price is going to reject over here and it starts falling down, it invalidates the bullish structure. Then this looks more like an ABC, which came to an end, and we're just falling down, increasing the probabilities for a deeper correction to the downside. Right, so definitely a shorting zone, but the best shorting zone that I see to the downside is when I take a trend, a FIB retracement from the high to the low, I switch on some levels, let's switch on the point of controls. Okay, I really, okay, from a technical perspective, because I'm a technical trader, I really like the 786 together with a naked point of control. You do have this pivot over here as well, so, I mean, price is rejecting now at the moment. This could potentially be a retest for continuation here to the downside. This is going to be bearish, guys. I don't think there's a high chance for this to make a higher low and continue. Doesn't have high probability, okay? You want to see a repeat of this to the upside. Okay, and can you see that this area almost aligns with, if I try and repeat the structure, okay, this area aligns with the 786. This is where I'll be looking for a short, but definitely when you fall down and you start hitting support to the downside, I will be taking profits. But then this also becomes a very interesting longing opportunity. Okay, so the best technical area to the upside for me is a short from this zone. If we fall from where we are right now, then I'll look for next trading opportunity, and I'm looking at the naked point of control at $82,000 115. Still an untapped level. It also has confluence with a 0.382 when you measure the entire structure here to the upside. Okay, so if you take a fib here from the low to the high, okay, you also have the 0.382 untapped Fibonacci level together with a naked point of control. Legends, I don't want to talk about these levels just as yet. Okay, we have confluence to the downside. We have this beautiful consolidation area. We have the golden pocket, you know, but price is here. Okay, so let's talk about bouncing areas between where price is now and to the downside. Right, so shorting opportunity that I'll be looking for, and obviously a little bit more to the upside. I'm still looking at this mini naked point of control that I have over here, which is the point of control inside of this little consolidation area. So if price punches here to the upside, that also becomes a shorting opportunity, longing opportunity. In a nutshell, that's basically what I'm looking for. Okay. And oops, remember, legends, okay, did you guys see that Ferrari? Where's that Ferrari? Did I not have it? Did you guys see this Ferrari? On weeks, you can potentially win this Ferrari, right? The link to sign up is down in the description, okay? Trade to win a Ferrari. I can be honest with you guys, if I had to win this Ferrari, I will most probably take the cash, because there is a cash option as well. For all the prizes, most exchanges actually do this, that if they do have Rolexes and AirPods and laptops and Ferraris up for grabs, they will offer you the same amount in monetary value as well. Stable coins, USDT, whatever you want, Bitcoin, okay? Because I can tell you guys now, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with a Ferrari, because just the maintenance, and you know, you puncture a tire on that thing, I don't want to pay an arm and a leg just to replace a tire and service. I'll most probably go for a drive, you know, just to enjoy it for like a couple of days, and then I'll most probably sell the thing, or I'll just ask the exchange for the money. But anyways, if you do want a Ferrari in your driveway, okay, this is where you do it on weeks, right? You also get 20% cash back on the money that you put in your features account. You have to leave it there for 3 days, and you get 25% discount on your trading fees. And this is where you win the Ferrari, and this is where you register to trade on weeks, okay? And if you haven't done that already, this is where you get the best sign-up bonuses, lowest trading fees, by using the links down in the description. It's also your way to support the channel. I also have Bluffin, because I do get people that say, okay, I don't like Bluffin, I like weeks. And you get people that says, I don't like weeks, I like Bluffin. Right? Bluffin, more you trade, more money gets airdropped into your account. They also have a 20% cash back on the money that you deposit in your features account. And so guys, these are the best deals that these exchanges has to offer at the moment, and I'm giving it to you right here down in the description. Okay, let's go through some comments. Yes, I fixed the camera. Let's just go down here. Okay, news generally follows the highest percentage scenarios. What's up, Dewald? Hope you're good, man. Yes, Koenz. Hey, Mr. Koenz is here in the... Koenz, I'm not sure if you're still here, Koenz. I was just showing everyone, I was watching your live stream over here and giving you a shout out and looking at the scenarios that you are currently watching. And yeah, I mean, it's just a long live stream. I don't have time. I am listening to you here on 2x speed. Okay. And I had to just jump in here to the live stream. But yes, Koenz, basically what I'm explaining to everyone over here is that for this structure to continue bullish here to the upside, I want to see those. You know, if this is a 1-2-1-2, you want to see the repeat here to the upside. You want to see the grind at the bottom. You want to see the grind to the top. This becomes an interesting shorting opportunity depending on how price reacts at that level, because my favorite trading strategy is swing failure patterns. And right, then, you know, the retracement is going to be very interesting. The retracement, if it's a 3-wave structure, I'm going to be very interested. You know, for price to find support over here, golden pocket 786 maximum retracement area. And right, and I mean, I am still interested in levels here to the upside. Okay, there's a chance that the structure can turn out to be bullish I've already explained to everyone what they need to look out for. And right, legends, but I mean, there are many scenarios. Okay, you need to look for strength. Okay, look for weakness. You need to long support. You need to take profits when you start hitting resistance. But for now, the structure looks promising, and you know it's starting to build the grind here to the upside. I want to see this, right? I want to see this. I want to see the grind to the upside, and then there's a chance for this structure to form that higher low for continuation here to the upside. There's a chance, right, legends? And first up is the shorting opportunity. Let's see how price reacts at this zone when it hits it. And I'm still interested in this naked mini point of control because I know that not a lot of people are watching this level. Okay, when you switch on your daily and your weekly levels, on your daily naked point of controls, it's not on the list, right? But I like to take little consolidation areas like this, and that point of control to me is always a very interesting area from a probabilities perspective. And I'm sure Koenz will agree here with me or not, right? Is that when you take a trend-based fib, let's go here onto the 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me switch off the levels over here. Let me clean up these scenarios. But when you take a trend-based fib from the high to the low, right, and I switch those point of controls back on, that little naked point of control is inside in perfect confluence with the 0.88. Okay, now this is where the probabilities now kick in, is that when you tap the 0.88, you do increase the probabilities of taking the high. But you could get the rejection at this level, and this is why I'm paying attention to this level, because this could be a rejection zone. It could go back, find support, maybe dip down a little bit deeper, and then go and claim the high. So that's still a potential shorting opportunity for me. Okay, with good risk management, price falls down, my stop goes above the high, price falls, I protect my position, it becomes a free trade. As you're hitting support to the downside, you damn well take profits, okay, because you don't want to be that person that waits for the lows and the lows doesn't come, it just continues. You had the beautiful entry, you got stopped out at break even, you didn't take profits, no money in the bag. Right, so definitely potential opportunity here to the upside. And guys, I really just want to focus on local structure, you know, from where price is at the moment. For me, I just want to focus on this level, that's 786 that I've pointed out. And then we also have this naked point of control here to the bottom that looks very, very interesting, okay, at $82,115. So I don't really want to go further than that because, you know, we will start talking about these levels when price gets there. Okay, for now, these are the most interesting levels. If price during the night while I'm sleeping decides to just punch through, okay, the first area of resistance that I have to the upside is $92,500. Okay. I actually need to type in that level, but I'll do it after the live stream. The first naked daily point of control we have, the first area of resistance to the upside is this little area. So basically, price taps a resistance area, you need to pay attention. Make sure that you have your alarm set so that you don't have to stare at the charts the whole time. When your alarm goes off, you come and you pay attention. Okay, look for the weakness. Look at CVD. Is it showing local bearish, bullish CVD? Okay. Yeah, so far no weakness. I absolutely agree, Koenz. I don't see any weakness. I think what's also interesting for me, Koenz, here to the downside, is if I zoom into, and this is something that I've just explained to the community here as well, I can count 5 waves here to the downside. I can, right? So there's a chance that the structure is done. There's a chance the third wave is not the shortest. If I zoom into the 1 minute, 30-second time frame, you know, I can go and count the waves. It makes sense. But when we made this low over here, okay, this correction to me became very interesting. And I can count, Koenz, I'm not sure if you like to do technical analysis here on the smaller time frames, but I become very interested when you make a low, and this looks like a 5-wave structure here to the upside, okay, the retracement for me becomes very interesting. Yes, it went down very deep. Okay, It went down very deep, but it counted beautifully for me as a WXY. You have an A, B, C, and a zigzag here and a Y, right? So it counted beautifully for me, okay, as a WXY, which tapped the 786 and claimed the W over there, right? It found support here by the 786 FIB retracement. Then I had my trend, I played the breakout. Beautiful. Took profits at the 50% Fibonacci taken from the high to the low, right? In the zone, not perfect, but in the zones where I took profits. And then this morning, I said, guys, this looks very impulsive. This looks very three-wavy. I had to actually zoom into the 30-second time frame to try and figure out, does this structure have 5 waves inside of it? And yes, we could confirm that it has 5 waves inside of it. 3-wave corrective structure. Broke out. Beautiful trade here to the upside. Claims the highs. Okay, get in, you get out. Right. Koenz, do you trade scalps? I don't think Koenz trades scalps. I think Koenz are more of a 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour time day trader, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I'm a day trader, but I can use lower time frames to enter if I see what I want to see. Yes, definitely. As price started moving sideways after that drop, chances increase for a move to the 382 minimum, keeping the naked point of control, etc. in mind. Yes, definitely. Okay. I mean, this naked point of control to the downside is still very interesting. Also very frustrating that we didn't tap it. Koenz, I mean, even yesterday during the live stream with my community, okay, and we started dropping here to the downside, okay, I had this trend-based fib. This is the one that I was watching. Let's clean up the levels over here. Clean up the brush. I was watching this trend-based fib from this high to the low to the high. There we go, right? And price was trading over here. And I told the legends, I want to see a reaction at each level. Okay, it will confirm that for me that the fib pool is correct. Just want to make sure that I've got it exactly where it needs to be. And then we got the reaction at the 786. I just want to make sure that my fib, yeah. Okay, this is what I wait for, is we got the reaction at the 786. I was like, okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, didn't attempt any longs or, I wasn't looking at a trade in this zone. I was looking at the structure. What if this is an ABC in an A wave? What if this is a 3-wave, B wave here to the upside, and this is now the final C here to the downside? Because there's a chance that the structure can be bullish to the upside. What if this is now starting to build impulses back to the upside? The correction is done. There's a chance, okay? So the 1-to-1 and the 1.236, very interesting targets. I would have liked, and this is what I told the pro members last night, is that I would have liked price to come and dip in this little zone over here, the 1.236, 1.382, because that also has confluence with the naked point of control. I would have liked to see this, right? Well, maybe a little bit deeper. We didn't get there. We didn't even claim these lows. Bit frustrating, but nonetheless, we had some successful trades here to the upside today. Right, legends. Well, that is basically what I'm looking for here on the price of Bitcoin. Let me go through some more comments. How's it, man? Is there still a chance for another low? Always a chance for another low, right? If price is going to fall right now, okay, I think there's an increased probability of taking these lows and coming to this zone. I think it has a good chance to get there. Right, but I mean, this could also be an A, 5-wave structure. It's not to say it has to be a C wave. It can be an A wave as well. What if this is a this is a 3-wave, okay, but then it needs to stop. This could be a 3-wave B, and then it goes down for a C. You have a zigzag here to the downside, finds support, then continues back to the upside. I mean, guys, there's so many things that can play out. It's about observing the reaction when you hit resistance, finding the weakness, okay? When you hit support, it's about finding the strength. Bullish CVD, 5-wave impulsive structure, contracting diagonal, double 1-2. This can be counted as a double 1-2. I know that this retracement went extremely deep, which increases the probabilities of claiming this low. But I have seen double 1-2s and even 5-wave impulsive structures where the 2-wave can go this deep. I have seen it. It's rare, but it can happen, where you have a 1-2, 1-2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe contracting over there, okay, higher low. But now basically what you want to see is a grind to the upside. Find some, look for some strength. Well, look for the 5-wave impulse. I have the 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you want to see 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. The retracement becomes very interesting. 3-wave corrective structure. Maybe there's a nice little trend that's going to form over there. You play the breakout, okay, stop below the low. You take profits when you start hitting resistance to the upside, but it has a chance to go to higher levels. Right. All the legends on the block. Hishan, welcome to the live stream, man. Lionel, yo, Dewald, your white hairs are growing. Guys, interesting fact. I actually started turning gray when I was 21. I started turning gray very early on. That's my excuse. Okay. Is it still probable to see down move? Yes. I mean, markets can't be predicted. Okay. Markets can't be predicted. But there's also a chance to go higher, right? It's about observing the price reaction when we hit those levels. Elliot still says 79 on mine. Oh, okay, cool. Right, legends. This is basically the update from my side. I'm not sure if anyone, okay. Why you smoke socks again, bro? You guys want me to smoke my socks? Okay, I still have a sock over here. Right, did you start trading at 21? It seems to notice some... you guys are hilarious. No. I did not start trading at 21. I wish I did. Okay. Koenz, are you still here? I'm not sure if Koenz are still here. I know Koenz is a busy man. He's got other things to do. For him to hang out in live stream for long, I'm not sure if he has the time. Okay, who has the time, right? I was even trying to watch Koenz's live stream here just before the live stream, and I just like, this is a what? This is a 1 hour 18-minute live stream. Maybe I can get through a little bit of it in 2 times speed, and yeah, I didn't finish it over here, right, legends? And remember, links for the best deals on the exchanges is always down in the description. And this little Ferrari, oh, what a sexy car! Okay, by registering with the link and signing up, you can trade and win this Ferrari. The more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. So if you guys want to take advantage of this deal, link is down in the description. Right, legends, I have unfortunately run out of time. Oh, Koenz is still here, second screen, while doing other stuff. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Dewald. Right, legends, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Have yourselves an amazing afternoon, morning, and evening from wherever you are. From around the world. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now.